Linda here with you from Gunnut Lane Jewellery. Welcome to my channel, and if you're already subscribed, welcome back. And if you're not subscribed, I'd really appreciate it if you hit the subscribe button. I give you something for free, so how about giving me something for free back and hitting that subscribe button? So this week we're going to work on another link, but it's not an actual new link. It's just using a different sort of wire to make a link. So it's just a normal round link. I've got them in 2 gauges here. So this one is the 14 gauge, and this is a 16 gauge half round wire. So we're going to twist that on the drill and put a chain together. So just designing a chain, putting it together today and making this particular link. Okay, I shall get all my supplies together and I will see you soon. Okay, so let's get this half round wire twisted. So I'm just going to bend the end of this wire just over like that. This is my 14 gauge I'm doing first, and I'm going to pop that in the end of my drill and tighten it up. That's why I turned the end over, so that the chuck's got something to hold on to, otherwise the wire would just slip out. Let me see if I can get this under the camera. All right, I'm going to hold that with a sturdy pair of pliers, and I'm going to turn my drill on, and I'm holding this really in my right hand with the pliers really tightly. And you can twist this as much as you like, depending on what the project is that you're doing. This drill is so heavy to hold on to. I know, I've got to readjust here so I can hold it, because it's hurting my left arm. All right, I think I've got that better. So yeah, so you can just, make it, hold on tight, and make a twist as tight as you want. So this is about the twist there that I've used in my piece today. So I'll just unscrew that. Take that piece out. And I'm going to do the same thing now with my 16 gauge half round wire. Turning an end over, just squashing it down, popping it in that drill bit and tightening. I'm going the wrong way. Get that nice and tight. And just make sure you can't pull it out. Then you know it's tight enough. Now position this again and grabbing the end of my wire, holding on tight. It's actually quite fun to do this. And again, you can twist, leave it like that if you, depending on whatever project. If you just need that much twist for whatever you're doing, leave it at that. Just decide what you need. And this half round wire twists beautifully. And that's about the twist that I need. Maybe a little bit more. There we go. That's about the twist that I need, or that I'm using in this project today. You can see that. Okay. So I'll come back to you in a sec. Okay, I'm back with you. So I've got my 2 pieces here. We'll do the 14 gauge jump ring first. So I'm going to cut that, flush cut that end bit off there that I was holding on to with my pliers. So get rid of him. And then using my 6-step pliers, just move that back up there. I'm going to use this mandrel here on my 6-step pliers, so below the smallest one. And I'm going to place that in there and you're just going to wind however many you need for your project. So you've all seen jump rings made before. This is just, I'm just doing this so you can see how I do it with the twisted wire, and it's basically exactly the same that you're doing. So I'm going to flush cut that one, and then make sure I flush cut it the other opposite way as well. So nothing new. So we've got those three, and then the smaller one on the 16 gauge wire, exactly the same thing. I use this mandrel here for the size that I need. So just the same thing again. I'll just do a couple here. Okay, that's enough. And then flush cut. There we go, we've got our two there. So all you would do now is obviously close up your jump rings. Now the easiest way that I've found lately is to make sure that you overshoot when you're closing them up. So let me get hold of this a bit better. So you want to, if I can get over there, you want to bring it over the top a little bit, if you can see that, how it's crossing over. And then when you hold onto it, just gently wiggle it back. Hear that click? You get a nice close. I don't know why it took me so long to discover that, but I actually did it by accident. And it worked. So I thought, oh, I've been struggling all this time. Excuse me. So overshooting, I'm doing the 16 gauge one now. Overshooting the end of it. And then just wiggle it back a little bit. And you probably just heard that click. There we go. And they're perfectly closed up. So that's the way to close a jump ring properly. You can do that with any of your jump rings. Okay, so we're going to move on now. I will just get my chain here all set up and get back with you, and we'll put the chain together. Okay, so I'm back with you. I've got all my links here, jump rings and links and what that I'm going to be using, all set up, ready to go to put this chain together. So we're going to do it in sections. So I've got these two sections here. And that's what we're going to put together to make our chain. So we'll get started on that. I'm just going to grab some pliers here. Okay, so we'll do this one first. So I've got my figure 8 links here. I meant to tell you too, when I demonstrated these links before, after closing the jump rings, of course, I hammered them with my rubber mallet, you know, just to straighten them out and strengthen them. I did that with pretty much all my jump rings except the smaller ones. So they're all done, hammered out. Okay, we can start with the Andes, probably the easiest way to do this. So I've got some tiny little the Rollo chains, which I demonstrated, links rather, that I demonstrated in a previous video not too far back. So if you would like to see that, that's done with a half round wire. If you would like to see that, you can go to my playlist under chain links and you will find the one for Rollo Belcher chain. So I'm just using a small one. The reason why I've made these small ones is I didn't want it to be very distinctive, you know, like a feature. I just wanted it to hold the links together, but also look nice. So you know, these are a little bit hard to grab onto and oops, close because they're so tiny. I'll get one that maybe that's a little bit bigger. Well, not bigger, but a bit rounder. See how I go with that one. So pop that on there. That one on there. This one should be easier to close. And get closed up nice and tight. And that's the first part of our link started there. Then I'm moving on to, what have I used there? The larger belcher. Now for the smaller one, I'll just show you on my pliers. I used this one here for the smaller one. And for this next size up here that I'm using now, I used that one. So, got those two on there. I'm going for the larger belcher chain or the Rollo chain. So we're going to attach that to the end of this one. And then I'm using a twisted link here, which I made on that one there. Did I? I think I did. I'm pretty sure. I'll just double check that for you. Yeah, it's too big for that one. Yep, so that one there. I know this is all pretty simple, but it's just about this week it's more about putting the chain together, giving you design ideas for chain is what this is more about. So we've got that one on there. Then I'm going to use a larger belch chain again, Rollo belcher link. Onto there, attach the large one. And then we do the same thing back down the other side. Doing that right? Yes, I am. Oops. So a smaller one now to attach these two figure eights. Make sure you close that up well. And that's one section of our links done there. Now we'll move on to the next one. Just get those out of the way. So this one consists of 5 of the belcher. Now you can do as many or, you know, as few as you want, whatever, you know, just make up your own design. This was just my idea. I'm sure there's 1,001 ideas out there. What am I doing opening that? I want to close that. That you could do just with this amount of links. So, you know, just play around with it, have fun with it, and experiment. That's how I come up with my designs. I just play around. You know, quite often I've got an idea in my head of what I want the chain to look like, and I get started on it, and it turns out totally different. I just change my mind as I'm going through. I've even started to put chains together and looked at it after I've got, you know, a chain piece about yay long, and I go, no, I should have put that in that section. I'd pull it all apart and redesign it. So for me, that's fun. That's experimenting, that's learning, that's expanding my design brain. Yeah, if you just stick to the same thing all the time, well, your brain's never going to expand design-wise. So what I got there, 1, 2, 3, 4, one more. So we'll go 5. I hope this is not too boring for you guys. I wanted to just show you how I design and put a chain together, rather than, even though I've shown you a different way to do a link, it's not a new link, it's just a, you know, a round link, but just done with a different way, to a different type of wire. So you can, you know, with your wire supply, you can experiment with it, which is how I came up with this one, just experimenting. And when I experiment, I don't use a very big piece of wire. Wouldn't even use a piece as big as what I demonstrated earlier. I just use a smaller piece and see how, you know, how that goes. So I've got 5 of those, and then I'm going to move on to 5 of these. And so this is not so boring for you. I would finish these 5 off camera, and then come on and finish do the next bit for you. Okay, so I'm back with you. So while I was off camera, I also put the other side together, because it's exactly the same and you don't need to watch me do it twice. I know that would bore you to tears. So now I'm just getting a couple of the twisted smaller links I made. Now I'll pre-warn you, these are a little bit harder to close, because then, as you can see, they're not a perfectly round jump ring. So they just make it a little bit harder to close. So just take your time with those ones and get them to close up nicely. You don't have to use these ones if you don't want to. This is just my, as I said, my design, and I'm just putting it together the way I want it to be. So, and the reason I'm using these just a couple of twisted ones there, is because I wanted it to flow down from the twisted one in the middle. So just when it's oxidized and cleaned up, you'll notice the difference in it. That's why I used it. So now I'm just going to use a couple of the Rollos to attach to that, and to my larger jump ring, twisted jump ring there. And I did that because I put the twisted one on and I didn't like the look of it, so I added the Rollo instead, just a smoother connection. So then you do that on the opposite side. So the opposite side, obviously, I put together the same way I showed you this one, which has got the 2 twisted jump rings there, then the plain ones, and why I put some plain ones, Rollos, and twisted together, it's just a point of interest. It's just the way the light will catch it when you're wearing it will look different, so that's why I did it. So that's that one there together, and we'll just move these out of the way. Try to keep them in their separate groups so I don't have to separate them all again. Okay, and then I've got the chain here that I started, so you can get the idea of what that's looking like there. As I said, you can change this up any way that you like. We'll just add these in now. So I've got this one coming around here, so I need to add one of those in there. I've got another one over here that I previously made, so I can pop that one in there. And obviously you make the chain as long or as short as you want it. And that one will go in there. And I got that right. That one there. No, I need one more of those. I'll make that later. Yes, that's right, because I was making this a really long chain. Okay, so we're just going to attach that there with the jump rings already on the end, which is the Rollo one. So you just need to reopen that. And attach our piece there. So that there. And then this one at the end, which already has the Rollo chain attached on this end. Now I don't always make my chains like this in sections, just this one because I only had 2 different lots, so I just made them in sections. Quite often I just make my chains up as I'm going along. You know, that's usually how I do it. I just design it as I'm going. But for this one, I looked at it and thought, well, I've only got 2 sections, so I'll just make sections and put it together. So if that's an easier way for you to do chains, then I'll move that one out of the way because I've got to make another one to fit that on. Okay, sometimes you close these things up so well you can't see where the join is. I didn't open that up far enough. There we go. Okay, I've got one section missing there, but it doesn't matter. So then I'll add a new piece in later on. So now I've come to the end and I want to add my, my clasp. So this is just a, you know, what do you call it, shepherd hook's clasp. I just hammered the end of that just to flare it out a bit and give it a bit of shine. See if you, hopefully you can see that on camera, how that's catching the light. So now I would just use 2 standard jump rings to attach my clasp. So I'm going to attach one on this side. Now if you're worried about just using 1 jump ring, you could always use 2 just to give it that extra strength. Add 2 of these on this side here. You know, in case one opens, you've still got the other one there to hold your clasp on. But if you close them up properly and put them through the tumbler, you shouldn't have a problem with that. I've never had a problem with it, so that's just my input. And of course then you would put one on the other side, because this hole here obviously would be too small for your clasp to go through, so you need something a bit bigger. Close that up, and there we go. That's your chain. This one's a lot shorter than it's going to be when I'm finished it, but yeah, that's our chain for this week. I hope you all enjoyed. One thing I forgot, I've just popped this in because as soon as I said bye, I remembered this. I wanted to show you a couple of other ideas that I came up with. This is a diamond shape that you can do with the twisted wire that we just did. This is done in the 16 gauge. So you could do a diamond shaped link like that. You could do a bone link, but just with the simple, what are they called? Simple loop. You could just do that if you wanted to, something like that. And then this is it done with the wire wrap. So yeah, you can do those in there as well. See how lovely that looks with just that little twist in it. I think that looks lovely. So anyway, I forgot to show you those, so I just wanted to pop them in just to give you a couple more ideas putting chains together. Okay guys, I'll end it now. Bye. Please don't forget to hit the like button down there. It really helps my channel. I'm trying to build it up. It's taking forever to do, and just that 1 second to hit the like button makes a big difference. So if you could possibly do that, that'd be wonderful. And don't forget the Facebook group. The group is growing now. I think we're up to 25 members, and people are posting their work. So if you need inspiration and you'd like to see what other people out there just like you are doing, then take a look at the Facebook page, and hopefully that will give you some information. You can ask questions on there. I'm on there at least once a day to check up and see what people are putting on there, and answer questions if there's any there. Also, my Patreon link down the bottom, I will leave that in the description along with the Facebook link. Yeah, Patreon, I don't know, I think there's 6 or 7 projects up there at the moment, another couple coming in the next week, if you'd like to take a look at that. And other than that, guys, I just hope you guys all have a wonderful, wonderful week, and I shall catch you all next week, and I hope you enjoy this project. All right, guys, bye. Take it easy.